Hello and welcome. Today, we have interesting stories, including one about a lady who caught her boyfriend masturbating with her hands while she slept and was told it was just a funny situation. Relax, sit down and enjoy.
First story.
My boyfriend M21 calls me F21 ugly very often. I understand that couples joke with each other. However, the thing is, he only jokes about my appearance. That is literally the only joke that he has. He would pick at me and say I'm not pretty or that I'm ugly and then immediately say that he's joking when I react. He doesn't even compliment me. He compliments my appearance very rarely. No matter what he says, I don't believe that I'm ugly at all. I am not trying to come off as conceited, but I am comfortable with my looks. And I know for a fact that what he doesn't appreciate, someone else will. He's a very sweet guy and he cares about me so much, but I don't believe I need to be with a guy who finds me unattractive. I don't feel insecure or anything, but I am a bit sad that the person I love doesn't think that I am pretty. I don't need him to compliment me, but it's the fact the only time he mentions my looks is when he, jokingly, belittles them.
I don't know if I'm being overdramatic.
I know that I'm a very sensitive person, so I'm not really sure if I should take this seriously or not. The top replies, "What's the joke?" Simply put, I am not saying he means you're ugly, but what's the joke when he say you're ugly? Where is the humor supposed to come in? I don't know. Even if I was 100% secure in how I felt, hearing I was ugly all the time would affect me for sure, so I don't understand why he would do that to you. The second reply, I have friends and family that I can joke around with, even call them offensive names.
I refer to my best friend as a bitch and she calls me a skank.
But not all the time, and we certainly appreciate each other and know that we are kidding. If either of us were to ever say we were uncomfortable with it or don't appreciate the joke, we would stop. If you want to give him a chance, not that I would, you should tell him exactly this, and if he cannot respect that and feels that his joke supersedes your comfort, and refuses to apologize, then you know where you stand with him. Second story. I woke up to my boyfriend using my hand to touch himself.
I'm 22 and he is 22. Hey guys, I'm in a bit of a dilemma here.
So my boyfriend and I have been together for 8 months and I've never encountered something like this before, especially with him. I was staying the night over at his place and all I remember is being woken up to him picking up my hand and putting it on his penis and rubbing it. I was still half asleep, so I just moved my hand, turned over and went back to sleep.
Nothing else happened and we just went back to sleep. Nothing was out of the ordinary the next morning, but the more I think about it, the more I feel off about it.
Update. Hello everyone. I'm back with an update. Original post is on my profile. So, quite a few things have happened since my first post. A day after my original post, I was staying over at his place again, and once again I woke up to him grabbing my hand and moving it over towards his junk. But this time I wasn't as sleepy, so I sat up and asked him what the hell he was doing. He looked startled and said that he didn't know he was doing it, and I woke him up when I sat up, but I don't know, the whole thing seemed off at this point. I didn't even bring up the first time he did it, until now. I asked if he knew this isn't the first time he's done this and I caught him a couple of days ago. He was silent for a bit and then told me that he knew the first time he did it and said he thought it would be a fun and new way to initiate sex, but he swears up and down that he didn't know this time. Which I find it very hard to believe. We talked about it for a while longer and he said that he wouldn't lie to like that, and we ended up going back to bed. but even after that, I couldn't sleep, and I swear he kept leaning over to look at me to see if I was asleep or not, so that's where I am right now. I haven't slept over at his since, and I still feel so weird. The top reply. Bottom line. This guy is molesting you in your sleep and can't even get his story straight as to whether or not he was doing it while he was asleep, that's a lie, or doing it on purpose as a way to initiate sex, that's a lie too. Since he was so upset and surprised when you woke up, his plan was to use your hand to jack himself off without you waking up. The end, and either way this is a huge violation of your boundaries, and I wouldn't feel safe sleeping anywhere near this dude again. This is dealbreaker material. If you can't trust your boyfriend enough to fall asleep near him, then that is a sign you need to get out of this relationship ASAP. The second reply. So here's the thing. While you were asleep, and could not give consent, your boyfriend took your hand to pleasure himself.
Not once, but twice.
Please break up with him. Don't wait until you wake up with him on you, trying to enter you. As you stated, after the second time you did not fall back to sleep and felt as if he was checking on your consciousness status. Why would you continue in this situation?
The third story.
Am I the idiot for refusing to get a job and pay rent at my parents' house? I had my 18th birthday 3 days ago. On the day after my birthday, my stepdad told me he wants me to start paying rent to live in his house. My stepdad is quite Christian and conservative. I don't accept to live rent-free forever, but I know my stepdad is coming from a spiteful place. He and my mom have 2 kids in 9 years of marriage. I'm not his own, and it's clear I'm a reminder that his wife was a non-virgin divorced woman before him, so of course I'm being treated like a guest, and my mom is allowing it because she thinks the sun shines out of his ass. He doesn't need my money to pay rent, plus I don't have much and he wants £100 per month. We still have lots of time for this, but I bet his own kids won't be paying rent while they're in school. My A-level exams UK school system start mid-April and last up to July. I'm doing STEM subjects and I'm hoping to fulfill my offer for a medicine course at a good university. I'm aiming for A*A*, which will take a lot of studying, and if I have to get a job it will be difficult to maintain that level of studying that I need to do. I'm literally moving out in September. I don't know if the university finances differ in the USA, and if this platform is predominantly American, so in the UK uni is funded by loans, and these loans cover everything and are 100% my responsibility, and my parents won't be financing anything.
So it honestly just feels vindictive, and it's not like I'm unproductive.
I'm trying to save the money I had left from my last job for when I move out too, and paying my stepdad £800 when he doesn't need it feels spiteful and like he's punishing me and making my life harder for being born. Basically, my Aunt Mum's sister, who isn't fond of him, said he's being ridiculous and told me to come live with her. Her house is an hour away, but my school is in the middle, 30 minutes each way, if that makes sense. She said she has a guest room free so I can save my money for uni. This benefits me most, so I took her up on the offer. My mother keeps crying that I'm leaving already, so my stepdad is annoyed. We got into an argument where he said he's just treating me like a tenant to prepare me for the real world. So I said, do tenants not have the right to leave? Which annoyed him further. My stepdad says I am hurting my mother and taking resources from my aunt because I am too entitled to pay rent. This is just what's best for me. I said I'd visit. Am I the idiot?
The top reply. Not the idiot.
Actions meet consequences. Your stepdad tried to flex on you. And his power play backfired. Your mother may be crying, but she let him do it. That house is half hers, and so is the decision to charge you rent. She is not blameless here. Your aunt's resources are none of your stepdad's feeing business. Original poster, move out without another guilt pang, okay. Work hard to crush your exams, and be super considerate and make yourself very useful in your aunt's household, shovel the walk, do dishes, walk the dog, whatever is needed. And if you don't know, ask please don't come back to this house to visit if your stepdad is home. Ever. Your mom can darn well find her way to your aunt's house, without Mr. Flex on her arm. God bless your aunt for sheltering you from stepdad and his nonsense. And don't feel obliged to invite him to your graduations, either. The second reply. Yes. This is the best advice and I hope original poster reads this and takes it in.
Also, when you finally reach your goal and become a successful person, 'cause I know you will, don't let these so-called parents take advantage of you.
There will be a time when they will come to you for money. It's always for money. They will use the, but we are family / I'm your mother / she raised you / you owe me or us. Just know you don't owe them anything. You take your aunt's offer and you make sure to always find a way to show her how much you appreciate her.
Even in the most simplest way, like legit telling her straight out or going out of your way to help her with even the smallest thing.
When she tells you no, it's okay, you tell her to let you do it. Like carry the groceries. And you tell her you appreciate her so much and you just want her to know it, and that's why you made breakfast or did extra chores, carrying the groceries, washed her car. Original poster. I wish you the best. Fourth story. Am I the idiot for wanting to go to my sister's wedding despite my wife having postpartum depression? My 29 wife 27, and I recently had our son. He is 7 months old. My wife was diagnosed with postpartum depression about 2 months ago, and it's been hard trying to manage for both of us. I started working less hours so I can be with them both more often, and that's been helping. Since our son was born, we have not been away from him once.
We have not had a break.
Not even having his grandparents watch him while we get a night. My wife will not allow it. She doesn't want to be away from him at all.
So much she doesn't even want to use the bathroom with him out of her eyesight.
Honestly, I've been dying for a break. Going to work then being on daddy duty without even one night to ourselves has been exhausting. My youngest sister got engaged about a year ago and her wedding is in 2 months. We already planned on attending, but since the birth my wife has been against this. She doesn't want us to go as it's a destination wedding and we'd likely have to leave for at least 5 days without our son. My feeling is that we need to go. This is my family and it's a once-in-a-lifetime event for her, and I know it would deeply hurt her if we did not attend.
It also would be good for both of us to get a short break.
It may even do some work for her mental health. Last weekend I made it a priority for us to have a full conversation about this.
I told her my feelings and suggested that we give our son to her parents for a short while so we can go.
She was livid. She said I was prioritizing my wants over my obligations as a father and I can just drop our son anytime I want to do something fun. She said that I can go but she will be too busy being a parent to come with, and that if I go I better find a different place to stay when I come back. This made me feel guilty, but I'm really not sure if it should. I don't think I'd be a bad dad for wanting to see my sibling's wedding. Nor do I think it's fair for her to threaten me like this. Am I the idiot? The top replies, not the idiot. There are maybe other options. Bring a trusted friend or family member from your wife's side who wouldn't be a guest at the wedding along to act as a nanny/caregiver. This will add to the expense, but if you can afford it, well worth it. Go to the wedding alone, possibly for fewer days, skip the pre-wedding events and prioritize the ceremony. Make sure there is someone staying with your wife and child to support her. The first time your wife is away from the baby should be a short coffee run, a block away from home, not almost an entire week at a destination wedding. If she's not ready to use the bathroom without baby in her sight, she certainly isn't ready to hop on a plane and be able to play the role of destination wedding guest. The second reply, okay. Nah, you guys do need a break. But 5 days is a long time to be away from a child that is less than a year old. If it was close by, you would absolutely not be the idiot. But it's a destination wedding, and that's super stressful for a parent, especially one that is filled with PPD and anxiety. I do have a suggestion, though. Can't it be possible for you to bring your in-laws with you for the sole purpose of helping and watching the baby during the rehearsal, wedding, and reception? Your wife can then check on the baby whenever she wants, and you have childcare so you can relax and have a break, and the baby wouldn't be separated from mom for 5 whole days. That sounds reasonable to me. Third reply, not the idiot. Becoming a parent doesn't mean that you cease to be a person, nor does it mean you stop having other family obligations. I also hope that your wife is seeking treatment and is processing her feelings with a therapist. While there might be compromises between not going and leaving the baby with her parents for 5 days, the crux is that your wife isn't coping in a healthy manner, and yes, new parents need breaks and need to continue to foster their relationship with each other. Fourth reply. Could your wife go and stay with her parents or have them come visit while you go to the wedding? If she is suffering from postpartum depression, it may be too much for her to go at this time. You could go and she could get help with the baby. Editing to add. Nahi understand you wanting to be there for your sister, and it totally makes sense. However, your wife is suffering, which means your family is suffering, and I cannot call her an idiot while experiencing PPD. Maybe try to talk again. Tell her you love her and want to be there for her while she is healing.
Let her know you really want to go to your sister's wedding.
Ask her what ideas she has for all of you to go, bringing someone, etc., or what would she need for you to be able to go. I hope you can make it work, and if you can't, maybe a visit with your sister after your wife is in a better place.